Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am excited to announce that I am joining forces with Hero Art's Hero Studio monthly subscription based kits. These are kits that are mailed to you depending on which ones you choose, and I am here to share the whole monthly studio with you for July 2025. So this here is the actual card of the month kit. I have most of the items right here, the way they sent them to me. And this is the kit that you will actually receive here. You receive 10 sheets of cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. You get a silver mirror sheet, a pine core ink pad, that's the cubes ink size, which I did not receive these two items. That's why I'm showing you the photo first. Then you have 2 die sets and a Stampin' Die. So let's show you those a little up close, which will be easier to see. So this here is On the Road Heroscape 6x8 stamp set. This is going to create a scene. It's almost like a desert scene with a road driving through it. Now you guys know how much I love to create scenes and stories and things like that with my cards. So I am super excited to jump in on this one. So I have not created with these yet. I'm going to start this evening, and I wanted to share the products before I jumped into them. So I'm doing the intro here first. These here are like little cactuses or trees, and then you have road signs. Oh, here's your cactuses. The cactuses here, you have the full moon or the crescent moon. Then you have Go Your Own Way, Take It Slow, You Go Girl, and Just Keep Going as your sentiments. Now your coordinating die set does have the sentiment dies, which I love. Then you have different dies that cut out the different layers if you want to make them individual and, you know, add dimension anywhere, which I thought was ingenious. Then you have the dies for the moons. So I thought that was pretty, and this could be your sun too, of course. But so that is your 6x8 Stampin' Die that comes in the kit. Now remember, this is the card kit of the month. Then this, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This here is a 2-part On the Road Heroscape die. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It is called Let Go Die Set. Let Go Die Set. Now, this is a lot of dies. It's big, big, big. And you can do a lot of stuff with this. This right here, let me bring it up close so you can see it. This right here is the inside of a vehicle. Okay, you have the passenger seat, you have the driver's seat, then you have the console in the center. You got your cup holders, your gears, your tape deck, your vents, your radio, and then of course you put your scene up here. So you see where they're going with this. These scenes come up here. See where the road will be right there in front of you? Is that not magical? Then you get to embellish your scene. So that's where I'm going to go crazy, right? So you have your wheel that you can change the colors, right? You have your radio, your tape deck, all of your vents. You have a cassette tape. Look how cute is that? Oh my gosh. You have the rear view mirror that you could put like at the top of your scene here, like as if this was the glass of your windshield. You have your drive shaft, you have your different embellishments that go on the different areas of the car, like the your glove box. I mean, they've thought of everything here. It's just like even down to the little lever that goes right here on this area here that would be changing those channels. I mean, they've thought of everything. It's just crazy. Look how they line up. Isn't that crazy? Look at the little knobs for the cassette deck. I mean, they've thought of all the details. So I think it's really, really neat. I'm looking forward to this one. But that's not all. That's not all. There's still another whole sheet, guys, to decorate your car. Check this out. you can put some legs up in the windshield. You can put a driver's hand on the wheel. You could have this person pointing to something. You see so many different options. You can put some shorts on her or him, but I think it's her. Like that. Got some details for those. You've got some double, stacked sunglasses. You've got a little tree that can hang in your rear view mirror. You've got dice that can hang in your rear view mirror. She's got some shoes with some laces. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. I got to think about how these would go on here. I'm not sure which way they would go. Then you got coffee. Can't go on a road trip without coffee. So you got the multi-layered coffee cup that would go down here in your coffee holder or your drink holder. I mean, the sky's the limit. Now, other things I thought about is you could just use the legs for different things too. Or you probably could use the arms in different ways too. I mean, you could have, I don't know. I'm not sure if you could have them pointing or doing different directions, but I was thinking you could have this one on the beach. Maybe you could have a beach underneath there and have the legs. I don't know. This one is just speaking to me though. I think this is so cool, and all of the different decorations and everything. So this is like right up my alley because there's so many things you can do with it. And I love scenes. Something else too I was thinking is you could like frame this scene and just do the scene on a card. And Midwestern, is like, the Western views and stuff are so in. And I love these colors. Now, let me show you the papers. For the papers in this card kit, we have half sheets of each of these Spellbinders color wheel cardstocks. These are Sicily, Coral, Bellini, Waterfall, Teal Topaz, Blue Spruce, Peridot, Beeswax, Saffron, and Carrot. Now remember, you'll also receive an extra half sheet of your mirror sheet and the ink pad. So let me put this one up and I'll get the next kit out. Before I show you the rest of the Hero Studio kit, I wanted to show you just some details on pricing and how the whole studio works. So this is what I just shared with you. This whole card kit is $60. You get everything here for $60. So I want to put that aside, and then I want to show you the rest of the items. Here is what I'm about to show you individually. They have a die set of the month. They have a Stampin' Die of the month. They have a background stamp of the month, which is really exciting. They also have a stencil of the month. Okay, so it's kind of similar to Spellbinders, except they have this card kit of the month that I just showed you. They do also have a free gift, just like Spellbinders has, which is similar. So when you buy the whole studio, you do get a free gift, which I will show you here in a little bit. But I wanted to touch base on this because I just added some notes to it, and I wanted to just touch base for just a minute on a few of the benefits of the whole studio. You do save a 45% savings when you purchase the whole studio, and you do get a 10% discount on the website during the month. There is exclusive free shipping days during the month that are offered to studio members, and you can subscribe and cancel at any time. Now, some items down here are just information I received on the website, so I just wanted to just touch base. The kits are revealed on the 1st of every month, and that is to everybody. So the open subscription window is from the 1st to the 27th for everyone. There is a fast shipping turnaround. The first kit ships within 4 to 7 business days. And then after the first kit is purchased, the automatic billing date is the 3rd of the month, which is different than Spellbinders. So I wanted to point that out, the 3rd of the month. So if you're making changes, you want to make them before the 3rd of the month in the next month. So I just wanted to point that out, and now we're going to jump to the next ones. This one here is the July die set of the month in the Hero Studio. And when you buy the entire whole studio, you do get a freebie of the month. So I will sit that over here and I'll show that to you at the end. But this here is the July die set of the month, and it is an adorable cassette tape. Now, how many of you had these cassette tapes when you were growing up? I sure did. I had a collection of these, and you have all of these pieces to make your full cassette tape. And I just think this is the coolest thing. Like, you have your tape that's in here, and then you have all of your different pieces and layers. You could even make this a shaker card if you wanted to. Then you have the tape coming out at the bottom, and it says hello here. So here is a close-up of it, the way it is meant to be created. And I remember all that kind of tape. When it got caught in the tape recorder, that drove me nuts. But I recorded singing singing on these as a child. I was a teenager, and I had a whole bunch of these blank tapes. I recorded off the radio, and my girlfriend and I would sing and record ourselves singing on them. I mean, I was like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 years old. This was like my generation. So I think this is really cute and very retro. So love, 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 love that one. So that is your die of the month. Then you have the layering stencil of the month, and it is a 4-layer stencil that does this stenciling right here where it says just keep going, and it has these stars here, which I think will be super pretty if we did these in some sort of glitter paste. I think that would be really nice. I'm not sure what color combo I want to use on this yet. I think a really pretty color combo would be fun. But you get, it looks like 3 different colors in the words themselves, and then your 4th is the stars. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I love layering stencils. So we are going to create in this video. So make sure you stick around, and I'll put chapters down below so that you can find each of the tutorials. Now this here is the July stamping cut of the month. This gives you a stamp set, and the stamps are Big Hugs Friend. You have a stamp that layers on top to give you dimension inside your large words. Then you have sub-sentiments that says, thank you for being a friend. Hey there, friend. I miss you. Sending hugs or sending big hugs. You're the best friend. So they all go together, and there's a hello there as well. Then you have these cute little postage stamps too. I was thinking of maybe some sort, either a collage of just the stamps would be cute. So I'm not sure what direction I'm going with this one yet. I may coordinate it. Oh, by the way, it does come with all of its dies. So that is fun that it has that. But the thing I like about Hero Studio is this large rubber background stamp. These are fun for techniques. Really fun for inking techniques. So I'm excited to get my little hands into this one. This here is the cling of the month, but it's called For the Love of Stamping. So I think this is going to be really fun. Now these you lay down onto your stamping surface, and then you ink it up, and you lay your paper down on it, and then you can rub over it. Usually I cover it with a piece of copy paper, and then I will rub over it. And this is so detailed, you get a perfect impression when you lift up. It's just amazing. And this will stick to the back of your surface here, especially if you have a glass mat. So really, really fun. And this this detail is going to make a great background. So I know Jennifer McGuire uses a lot of background stamps in her makes and has tons of tutorials over on her channel. So this is going to be fun to get to play with. When you decide to get the whole Hero Studio, that is when you get all of the studio clubs. Now this here shows them all. This right here is your actual kit of the month that I showed you first. The ones with the backgrounds and the car set, the papers, and the ink pad. This right here is the freebie that comes when you get the whole entire studio. And that is when you also get the cassette, the stamp. This is actually the die set, but it was the cassette die set, the stamp and die, the background, and the stencil. So when you get everything, then you will also get the freebie, which is right here. It's a stamp and die this month. It'll change every month. And this is Lookin' Pine, my friend, is one of the sentiments. Hang in there. Hello, which is a vertical sentiment. Thought that was interesting. It's pine, everything pine. I thought that was cute. Everything's pine. Pining for you. You're tremendous. Lots of cute puns. Stay fresh. I thought that was cute too. And then it's got these cute little mountain scenes down here that can go right in here for your little air freshener. And it's got a little hang-in place where you can hang it like so. Like that. You can almost make it like a tree ornament too. You can make it a Christmas tree ornament. You know, you could cut it right down here and make that an actual Christmas tree ornament for this Christmas. I thought that would be really cute. Or like a Christmas tag. That would work too. So really, really neat. So okay, guys, so I am going to get crafting and we will see you in a YouTube minute with some makes. We are going to have 3 cards today that we're creating. And this first one is with the stencil of the month. Now I'm also going to use this stencil here from my stash, the Nebula Cluster stencil. And I'm going to do just a really pale stenciling of this in the background, just to give our stencil of the month even more of an interest. Now I'm going to go in really light-handed here, just as gently as I can, just to give a hint of interest to our white background. I thought this would just bring a focal look into these bold words that this stencil is going to provide us, and just bring that, you know, bring them in with this cluster of stars. And I mean, I thought there are a few stars in the actual stencil of the month that are similar to the ones in this nebula cluster, and it just coordinated to me. I thought it was really a neat design. I actually bought this stencil to do galaxies with, and I think it'll be really cool over an inked galaxy background. So that was the lightest color. I'm using Pink Fresh Studios inks today, and that color, I believe, was Ocean Breeze. So I'm going to do something a little tricky here. This is a trick that I have up my sleeve I'm going to share with you. I'm using some mint tape, and I'm going to create myself a little corner, a little right angle. Since I'm not using the squares that Hero Arts gives us, those registration marks in the corners, I'm going to make myself that right angle with the tape. And we're going to use that right angle to line up our stencils each and every time. I wanted to be able to use my Ultra Sticky Mat from Altenew to really hold my stencils down in place so that we could ink up each of these really precisely. So we're using turquoise here for this first letter in our letters. The first layer in our letters. Say that 3 times fast. And just doing a really, thorough coloring of that stencil, making sure you go frontwards and backwards on your circles so that you get each and every little nook and cranny. That's one thing I love about the flat stencil brushes, is that you do definitely get all the nooks and crannies. So this is stencil number 2. And we're going to go in here with Paradise and give this the 3rd turquoise color. We have that real pale in the background, and then we got these 2 darker colors in the letters. And then we'll go in with a 3rd color, and it just has a little bit of this 3rd color, just in little touches. It's not in every single letter, but we're going to go in with limoncello and give it a pop, a bright pop of color, which I thought would really brighten it up a little bit. I chose colors that were next to each other, pretty much really close on the color wheel. They always look pleasing to the eye when you do that. And I really like the way this really just pops when you add that brightness to it. Now we're going to keep with that idea of that color, that pop that we want. And we're going to get some Simon Hurley Lunar Paste. And I'm going to grab my Hero Arts spatula. And I'm just going to add some of this on where that last layer stencil has those stars. And I'm going to go ahead and just burnish that in there with the spatula and add any excess back in my jar. It was actually pretty easy to do. And then I will take that and clean that off in the sink immediately. That way my tools and everything are not ruined. Now we will have that finished card at the end of the video. I'm just going to add a backing to it so that we have a border. So that's card number 1. For card number 2, I'm going to use this Kelly Bangs paper pad from Spellbinders. I believe that paper pad is called Just Saying. And I've cut all my papers here out. I've used some Spellbinders treasured cardstock for the specialty black and the specialty silver. And then all of these colors, these bright colors here, are the stripes in the cassette tape. I'm going to use some tape just to make sure those little pieces don't move around. And then I've chosen the browns for the actual tape part of the cassette tape. And then these whites are for those white areas there, and they have indentions on them so that the colorful stripes are going to layer right on there. Now, I was just showing this in the video. I don't usually show my platinum in the video, but I was just showing you here how I die cut all these pieces at one time. I just put them all on there and run them through. And it's like bing, bang, boom, and we're done. Whenever I can do that, I do that, and it saves a lot of time. So I didn't know if that would be helpful for anyone to see that portion, but that right there shows the indented lines where you're actually going to be placing these pieces. You could really see where that white piece is going to lay on that black card. Now I'm using a black glossy card. It's kind of a matte gloss from the black treasured cardstock, and it really shows up those indented lines nicely. So I'm using the indented lines there also on the white to line up all these little pieces, because it really does show on these dies. Just like with Spellbinders dies, the Hero Arts also gives us that little roadmap, which I love because it makes assembly so nice and easy. And I'm so glad they're carrying that over and doing that. Now this is a little trick of mine. I'm going in from the back and I'm adding these pieces, and one of the pieces is slid out right there, but I end up putting it back in. And look, I need some Best Ever Craft tape, but then I'm going to run a piece of tape right along the back here, and voila, now it's easier to build on it because I'm going to glue pieces on top here, and it would be so much easier with them just staying put in place. So I'm going to use my tweezers. These are double-sided tweezers, a must with when you have little pieces. And it's easy for me to just place those down where those indented lines are lined up there. And I've also got these little rings to the wheels of the cassette tape. And I just did silver on silver, but you could definitely do a different color inside the wheel if you wanted to. I went ahead and chose to just use the mirror card because the glue is so nice that it comes right off the mirror card. I apologize for the little blurs. It does not like me moving around with all these little pieces. But I'm just lining all those little notches up there, and they line up beautifully. But having that taped secured piece in there makes it so much easier. Then we'll just add this piece on, and our cassette tape will be done. Is that not an ingenious design? I just loved it, and I love this color scheme. I thought these soft, muted colors were perfect. Now I'm going to put these little itty-bitty dies, these little circles, they're like little screws, on the corners. And they're so adorable. And this little pickup tool is perfect for them. I know you all have one of those about now. But look at that. Is that not precious? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So I'm going to turn it over because we're going to add some 3D on the back of it. And we're going to put it on our specialty paper that I've picked out, the pattern paper. And that kind of gives it like a retro feel. And then we will add our hello sentiment and have our third card. I did mat that on a piece of the Spellbinders paper there. I forget what the name of that paper is. Waterfall. I've actually used Coral, Peridot, Waterfall, a dark brown from my stash, I believe, and the mirror silver from the treasured cardstock on there. Oh, I think it's so cute. I love this. I think this is one of my favorite cards. This one and my one with the car itself are my two favorites this month. So there is that finished card. I hope you like that one. I really, really like that one. So now for card demo number 3. This card is not my favorite card, but I like the technique, and the technique is the main reason I put it in the video. So I thought doing a technique with the background would be fun. So I inked that up with actual Versamark ink. And then we rub this in and burnish this. I just have a piece of copy paper over top. It just helps the paper not to move, because as you move your hand back and forth, it stays in place. Now I'm folding that with the sticky side out because I don't want the sticky part to be in with my embossing powder there. So that's the dry side that I'm dumping the embossing powder on. But look at all that. Look, is that not pretty? So I'm just going to dump this back in, and then we'll heat that up, and we'll get all those little spots all glossy. I've used white embossing powder, and then we're going to ink it and make it pretty. So that's the fun part. We're going to make it pretty. So this is a ink resist technique, because everywhere that you ink, all of these places that you've just heat embossed will resist the ink you're putting down, and it will stay white, which makes it so pretty. So we're going to start with Sun-Kissed, which is a really pale peachy color. And I'm going to actually use the embossed design as my pattern. So there's lots of circles on this cobblestone pattern. So I'm using those to my benefit, and I'm designing around the circles. So I'm doing the pink, or the peach in the middle, and the pink on the outer circle. And that's what I'm going. I'm following the design of the embossing folder. And I just thought it turned out really pretty. I was really having fun with these colors. Just trying to create something of my own. And I was trying to like keep the circles going and keep them matching, and it was just a whole lot of fun just playing. I love playing with ink. Ink and color. You know, stenciling, inking, anything like that. So I'm using, let's see, what pink is this? Cherry Blossom. So we're using Cherry Blossom. And what I'm trying to do here is get a little bit darker and fill in, get that all that white space. And I'm going to fill in the peach areas that are still have some white. And I'm trying to get them a little bit darker, a little bit darker. And then we'll show it to you up close so you can look at it. Our first straight on look at it. I was thinking to myself, edges have to be darker. So there's our first look at it. But then I decide it needs to be darker. We need to have, that pink is just lost, you know? So I think let's go one step darker. So this was, let me see. I'm trying to see what color this was. I cannot see there on the video what color this was. It was one darker than Cherry Blossom. So having fun. And I darken that up. And then once you do that, there it is there, peony. It was peony. Once you do that, you wipe it off. And when you wipe it off with a paper towel, you get all the ink that was left on top of the embossing. Now I went ahead with this XL stamp set, and I'm using just the happy birthday. And this is where I'm not sure I like what I did. I wanted to turn it into a happy birthday card, but I decided to go with black. And I'm thinking I should have gone with white instead of black. The black is what threw me off in the final card. I think I should have kept it soft instead of going bold. So that's where I was like, I don't know if I like it or not. But I did add the silver on top, and I did a little offset. So that lightened it up a little bit. But it was the black that I was like, after I glued it down, I was like, I don't know about this. So it is what it is, and we're not always happy with everything we create. But it ended up being okay. So these are the 3 tutorials that I have for you today. I hope you are enjoying my videos recently and that you have had fun exploring the actual clubs or studio clubs. I'm so used to calling them clubs, but the Hero Studio with me this afternoon. Now, when I went with these Hero Hues elements here, I like the enamel dots. I like having them in all these sizes that they have, but I was not liking my placement, and so I started picking them up and moving them around, and I'm like, those 3 down there do not look right. So I started moving them around, and then I show you the actual final placement, and I was okay with them by then. So I was good by the end. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Here are the 4 cards that I have got for you. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Now this 4th one we did not do on screen, but I had done it and I wanted to share it with you. So have an amazing day, my friends. Bye-bye for now.